She values me and I am someone important to her. So I know I belong. I know who I am and I know whose I am. I belong to her. So there's this bonding that takes place in the very early years of a child's life, and especially at infancy. It is so important. There are many of us who have not received this sort of bonding with our mothers, either because our mothers were too busy working, or they had too many children after that, other children to look after, or they were trying to balance this role that I had as a mother, looking after these two. And I recognized the younger one, the baby, was neglected to a large extent. And because of that, every day I would see her reacting by crying, for long periods of time, and she wouldn't go to people, she would cling to me, and then there was times when she gave a lot of trouble to eat her food, and I recognized these as signs, but I didn't know at that time, that she's really crying out for my attention. She really needed me, and we realize these things only later. We only, find out about these things later. So I was very worried about it, very concerned, and I shared this with a man of God, and you know what he told me? He said, don't worry. While your daughter, your 1.5-year-old daughter, is asleep, just place your hand on her back or her chest, just pray, and ask the Lord to make up for all that you have not given her, or all that she has missed out on, and believe that the Lord is ministering to her in her sleep. So every night my husband and myself would do that. We would just very gently lay our hands and ask the Lord to heal her. And then she was healed. Today, she's actually one of the most outgoing of the three, and very talkative and a people person. So I can say that God has healed her, and I can see that change in her life. So I praise God for that. Okay, let's take a look at this next slide here. So we come to this shoo them off quickly, right? So he said, yes, and you don't really give them that full attention that they require. And so often children think, okay, so she's not really interested in me. She doesn't really give me that attention. I'm not so important. That's the message a child begins to receive. So often then children will just withdraw. They rather not show that piece of art to their mother, or come up and speak or communicate, because it's not worth it. Mom's too busy, So we just tend to push them off. So then they become distant, distant and quiet and introspective. I don't trust them easily. I will not open up, and I will not allow my relationships to go deeper. All my relationships then will be very superficial. Yeah? Because I'm afraid. I'm so afraid that I will get hurt. This is it. Why do we make these walls around us? Because we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to feel the pain of it again. Not all over again. And so we build these walls. And so this young girl is going to, unless she deals with it, and until she recognizes where she's heading, she's going to be heading for disaster, one such image. Okay, and the third is this form of abuse, what we call sexual abuse, which is another area which is extremely wounding and very, very painful. And I will deal with this area a little later. I'll go into some teaching on this area, so we won't really talk much about it now. But this area can keep us in bondage, lifelong bondage, if we don't receive the counsel that we need, the counseling and the help that we need. Because there are secrets, there are very dark secrets that we've kept hidden for years. And if we don't speak about those things to people, then we will find ourselves going in circles. And you can never then make intimate connections, intimate relationships, And the walls will never come down unless the Lord breaks through those walls. And unless that silence is broken, and unless you speak up and you share with someone who you trust, then you begin to move forward in this area of healing. Okay, so our parents definitely are our first teachers, because they are supposed to reflect the image of God to us. They're the ones who show us it's good to be held, it's good to be, to play, the parents play with their children, wrestle with their children, spend time, quality time with them. And they're the ones who teach us so many lessons in life. And so, if they spend quality time with us, then we begin to feel that we are worth it. We are of great value. We are of great worth. But if they don't spend time with us and they criticize us and we've experienced a lot of hurt from what they've said and done, then we are experiencing, even until this day, we are experiencing pain, rejection, fear of making new connections. The fear of relating to others and getting into deeper relationship with others. So I would really pray that God will break through all this in this weekend and liberate us. Look at that little one there, feeling so secure, for just between the two of them. And there seems to be there's a holy huddle there. Yeah? It's a holy huddle, I call it. It's just cuddling together. Okay, next picture please. The next slide. Or break. Okay. Alright. I like that one. Okay, so when we look back now to this journey that we've been on, some of you might be thinking, yeah, true. All these years of trials and pain and suffering. Now, why on earth is Diana speaking about it now? I let it all just remain there. Why stir up everything? Why? Because if we do not look at it, if we don't bring it to the surface, along with Jesus, we are going to experience difficulty, as I mentioned, in relationship, and difficulty also to accept ourselves. And if we don't love and accept ourselves, we can't love and accept our husbands, our wives, our friends, our children, So it's all about loving myself, loving God, loving myself, and loving my neighbor. So three dimensions, right? So I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a minute. And as you close your eyes, just think about this journey that you think about His love, think about His goodness, think about His grace that has brought us through. For as high as the heavens above, so great is the measure of our Father's love. Great is the measure of our Father's love. Just think about His love that has carried you right through your journey.